Oh, I'm so annoyed with myself. I ended up eating so much chocolate last night, even though I know I was only meant to eat one piece after dinner.
Yeah, it's easy to fall into the trap of overeating or snacking on indulgent foods, especially when they're really easy to get to.
Absolutely. My problem is, if I know that there's all these amazing treats just at like arm's length, I know I'm gonna overdo it every time. Having these foods in the house is just like a trap for my brain to just go, just keep going. So what's the solution? Should we just not have them in the house?
That's an easy fix, but for some of us, it's not an option. Either because of other people in the house or because we want to have a little bit more balance in our nutrition. For instance, if chocolate's really your thing, you might want to have a few pieces after dinner.
Oh, so what do I do? What do I do?
Right, so the question is, how can you have tempting foods without falling into the trap of binge eating when you're tired, emotions are high, or the social situation is encouraging you to keep eating?
Yeah, maybe your partner's eating off plan, or maybe you had just a really stressful day at work, and then boom, you're elbows deep in a packet of crisps, and you don't know what happened, and your life flashes before your eyes, and you're just off plan.
Yeah, it happens, but here's the thing, you can have those foods around without losing control. The key to this is to have a strategy that slows down how quickly you can access them, so you have more of a chance to catch yourself before you end up going overboard. And that is where artificial stopping points come in.
Artificial stopping points? What the hell does that mean?
An artificial stopping point is anything that slows down or delays how quickly you can eat tempting foods. This gives your brain more of a chance to go, do I really want to keep eating?
So basically, it's just like creating friction in your environment to stop yourself from just mindlessly going at the food.
Exactly. When you make it harder to get to those indulgent foods, it gives you more of a chance to pause and consider, do I actually really want to keep eating?
Okay, I get why this is useful, but I just don't really understand how to apply it.
So stopping points can be anything that just creates more steps to you being able to access and eat indulgent foods. For instance, it might be that you wrap individual servings of sweets in sellotape. It sounds silly, but when you have to unwrap each serving individually, it gives you more time to consider whether you actually do want to keep eating more sweets.
Cool. Or you could keep your chippies at the top of the cupboard where it's really hard to get to. Or you could try pre-wrapping individual little cheese bites if that's what you're into, which just makes you take a little bit longer to eat it because you have to unwrap each and every single one of them.
Exactly. So just work out what tempting foods you have around the house and then work out how you're going to create a delay so that you can't eat them quickly and mindlessly. Then, after you've shopped and bought these tempting foods, separate them out into their individual portions and then apply your delay to each of those portions. And sorted, you're now going to find how frequently you overeat on these tempting and indulgent foods is going to be reduced.
Okay, so it's another kind of weird approach, but I like it. And I can totally see how it would work. But what about when my temptations are really strong? Really, really strong. For instance, when I'm keeping the chips at the top of the cupboard, it's really easy for me to just drag the chair and keep it there so I could just grab a pack after pack after pack. Hell, I may even just grab the entire multi-pack the first time.
Great question. And to overcome this, we want to create some rules about where and when you're going to eat these tempting foods to help us strengthen the artificial stopping point. For example, let's say you keep individually wrapped portions of chocolate in the car and you've decided that you're going to have one portion a day after dinner. The issue is if your motivation is really low and your temptation is really high on a particular day, it'd be really easy to go out to the car and just grab multiple portions, or you could just sit in the car and just work your way through all of the chocolate there. So to overcome this, we need to create some guidelines of how we're going to apply our stopping points. So for example, we could say that we're only ever going to take one portion of chocolate out of the car at a time. We're going to then put our keys back in the drawer and then we're going to unwrap and eat that portion on the sofa. Obviously this doesn't make it impossible for you to be able to go get more chocolate, but it does create more delays and it means you're going to have longer to ask yourself, do I really want to keep going?
So the trick is to add multiple steps to the process. Grab the keys, get to the car, grab the chocolate, get out of the car, lock the car, put the keys away, and eat the chocolate. And by the time you finished your chocolate, you might ask yourself, do I really want to do all of that again?
Yeah, that's right. And the extra effort means that you're less likely to binge mindlessly.
So basically, we're just adding steps that help us make considered choices so that we stay in control of our calorie intake.
Yeah, because long-term nutrition isn't about just trying to deprive yourself, because that's just a short-term view of how to lose weight. Instead, it's about creating an environment that helps you to make smarter, more considered and more balanced choices.
So, in summary, if you want to enjoy indulgent foods without overeating, just create some artificial stopping points that make binge eating really hard.
Yeah, that's right. A little preparation and a little strategy really allows you to bring a lot of enjoyment and balance into your nutrition, which makes staying on track far more likely.
Amazing! And if you found these tips helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And if you really want to help us out, a like or a comment goes a long way.
And if you want even more great advice on behaviour change and nutrition change, consider grabbing a Lifestyler subscription at lifestyler.coach, where you're going to find an absolute ton of resources and tools to help you become the person that you really want to be.
We'll see you in the next video.